What's up, everybody? This is the one, aka Jodecideion on YouTube, and I'm bringing you part 2 of Bonus Thought 7, Out from the Side of My Neck. Yes, Nintendo loves me, aka a apology letter to the hardcore. In part 1, I went over quickly the new news released from today's Nintendo's Media Summit, covering release dates for 3 big Nintendo games, and also little tidbits of information about upcoming games and the features they will have. There were plenty of games announced, and all of them could be considered core games, major titles from Nintendo's main franchises. No sign of anything casual at all, so pretty much you can say this was a hardcore summit, targeted strictly at the hardcore Nintendo fan, the hardcore gamer. Nintendo plans to release 3 major games developed by them after the release of a major third-party game. So basically, you have 4 great games in a matter of 2 months. A move never really heard of. Something their rivals Sony and Microsoft have yet to do this generation. The reason for this move is to counter the propaganda created by the gaming media that has divided the Nintendo fanbase. So today, Nintendo tried to fight back the backlash by unveiling and releasing information about all these great core titles, in hopes that the core market on the Wii will appreciate it and cut them some slack. The purpose for me making this video is to show Nintendo that actually they're fighting a war they can't win, and also why even try. The people they're trying to please don't deserve it. So let's get back to that. I compare Nintendo to being gamers' first girlfriend, that one you had when you was growing up as a little kid, or in middle school or junior high. The very first girl to actually like you for who and what you were at that time, before you start trying to figure out what you want to be. Let's call Nintendo GWEN STACY. For those faking that they're hardcore Nintendo fans, as new girls entered their lives, the love for Nintendo declined. Maybe the girls were more attractive to them. Maybe they were more popular. Either way, Nintendo wasn't good enough for them. So they slowly moved on as the generations kept coming. If you don't believe me, look at the past generation sales of all the consoles. The Sega Master System bombed in the US. Sega had to go back and release the Genesis later. And now all of a sudden they're tied with Nintendo? They're equals? No, it wasn't like that. Nintendo lost 20 million users from its NES to Super Nintendo days. So 20 million users left Nintendo and probably went to that Genesis, helping them gain ground. Then, during the N64 days, Nintendo lost 17 more million users. At that time, Sega was an established franchise, but then the PS1 just came out, a new girl, Mary Jane. So yeah, some of those guys went there. Finally, you have Nintendo on life support. From 64 to GameCube, they lost another 11 million users. And during the GameCube era, we had the PS2, which is dominant, and now we have the Xbox. So the Xbox could have took some of Nintendo's users, at the same time gaining the users from Sega, because they died out with the Dreamcast. Now we're in the Wii era. Nintendo is popular again. Hell, Nintendo is hot. She got a makeover. She's looking good. She's grabbing a lot of attention from new people and old. Now that she's hot, got her boobs did, whatever, liposuction, whatever was wrong with her, some of those old gamers who left through all the years are now coming back because they know all you have to do is sweet talk her and she'll take them back, Run that game on her. And Nintendo's ladylike. She's never been rude and just dirty and nasty. She's a lady at all times. So what's she gonna do? Tell you to leave? No. She can be nice back and fall back into the trap. Your true Nintendo fan, the one that don't give a damn about what games come out as long as games come out, They're amongst that 21 million that the GameCube had. They're somewhere in there. They were the ones standing with Nintendo during its darkest hour, the GameCube era, where third parties were just dropping from Nintendo left and right, and no one would buy a GameCube for any reason at all. Those are the true Nintendo fans. Not these suckers now who came back using this, yeah man, I used to play Nintendo back in the day, man, you know, I'm diehard. Nah, motherfucker, you a traitor. To explain the difference between a true Nintendo fan and a pretender, I'm going to use another example. This time, I'm going to use your household pet, the good old dog. A true Nintendo fan has been with Nintendo a long time, long enough to know Nintendo's patterns. What games Nintendo like to release, when they like to release them, and how they do their business. Nothing surprises this fan. So this fan just sits back and waits. There's a love, a loyalty, and a respect between Nintendo and its fan, or owner and its pet. To put it in dog terms, true Nintendo fans, they're the dog that just sits in the doghouse and waits for Master to show up. They know Master likes to feed them at a certain time, and they know what Master wants to feed them. So they sit there and wait. They know it's coming, they believe it's coming, and they're happy when it comes. And even if Master's a little bit late, they're still sitting there waiting patiently, loyal and true. Now the pretender, they're the pet that just needs attention all the time or just can't wait to get fed. So they're always at the door, scratching and barking, running around the backyard, making a mess. They're hungry and they want to be fed when they want to be fed. So when Nintendo doesn't provide them with the content and games they want, at first they start yelling and screaming, blasting forums everywhere, bitching, trolling, trying to get attention. I hate Nintendo. They're not taking care of me. Where are the games I want? Blah blah blah. After a while, they get so impatient that they eventually just leave the backyard and wander off to another backyard, hoping to find another master that'll feed them what they want, like most have done since Nintendo's been in the gaming business and during this generation. The problem is, those gamers can't be satisfied, and no matter what Nintendo does as a company to try to please them, they'll always complain about something, always bitch about something, and eventually always move on to somebody else who do what they want when they want it. So why even cater to them? They're not trustworthy. They don't deserve it. And if you don't believe me, go to a forum right now. Read some comments in a thread. Those so-called Nintendo fans, the diehards, actually the wannabes, they're the ones still complaining about the stupidest of things. Instead of being happy that we're getting Super Mario Galaxy 2 in a couple of months, they're complaining about the game not having orchestra music. They're complaining about the price of the DSi XL. They'll be the ones on YouTube making videos saying, now see, this is how Nintendo should have been doing business. Or, now things are finally right. Instead of saying, wow, I can't believe what Nintendo did. Or, man, you see that? That's amazing. Instead of making it about Nintendo, they're making it more about themselves. So I ask my true Nintendo fans, when you see a pretender out there making noise, making us look bad, call them out. Thanks to the media always going to a pretender as a spokesman for the true Nintendo fan, Nintendo is bringing out 3 games in a matter of 2 months that usually would be 3 games that come out in a matter of 6 months. Coming out with so many great games in a short matter of time, what did that leave Nintendo in the later part of the year? What if Nintendo can't top what they're doing now later in the year when it really matters? What if E3 is lackluster compared to this summit? If that happens, the cycle will begin again. So Nintendo, I ask you to go find your true fans, the diehards, the real fans. Cut the fat. You don't need the wannabes. Keep working with the new gamers you're bringing in. Teach them to be true fans like the very few you still have. And you'll be alright. This is the one. Peace.